Welcome back. The City of Toledo is taking a closer look at how to better serve residents with disabilities, especially when it comes to finding a safe, accessible place to live. We're joined by Coleena Ali with the City of Toledo and Katie Hunt-Thomas, disability rights attorney and director of advocacy with the Ability Center, so we can learn a little bit more about how you're asking the community to get involved in all of this. Thanks for being here today, ladies.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, so on Thursday, you're actually having a workshop. Is that right? What's happening?
A focus group, yeah.
A focus group. What's happening?
Yes. Do you want to talk about it?
Sure. Well, sometime last year, the Ability Center was talking to the City of Toledo about the needs of people with disabilities in housing. And we came up with this brainchild of doing a survey to try and determine just how much accessible housing is in the City of Toledo and how much is still needed. So just a couple statistics in 2022. The state of Ohio did a housing needs survey and found that about 60% of units in the state of Ohio needed steps to enter into housing. So for folks with disabilities, that means it's very hard to get in and out of the house. We want to see what that looks like here in the City of Toledo.
Wow, 60%, that's a pretty high number, isn't it? So you're going to have this focus group. What exactly do you think you're going to hear from people, or what do you want to hear from people when they come out to this?
We want to hear their needs. We want to hear what they're looking for exactly, because we talk about accessibility, and most of the time, and I'll say this in all fairness, that in my mind it was always wheelchair accessibility, but it's not that. It's so much more than that, and the needs that are out there, I don't know, we don't know, and we want to have a better idea of what that looks like. You know, is it your child? Is it, you know, your spouse? Is it you? What is really going out there? Because as we trying to look at our housing study that we did a few years ago and how we start to really implement it, we need to know what that need is so that we can start looking at creating resources for that. So down the road, you know, we don't have that 60% number, and we have more housing that's accessible for all.
Yeah, what are some of the bigger challenges do you hear from people that they faced in terms of housing and disabilities and accessibilities, besides maybe just the steps?
Yeah, I mean, so we at the Ability Center, we do a lot of housing advocacy, so we're part of a lot of focus groups. We do a lot of studies of our own. And what I've found is that it's really the accessibility of the housing across the board. So it's not just the steps, though. That is a big part of it for folks. You know, you need to be able to get in and out of your house.
Right.
I think we built about 240 ramps for folks in single-family housing in the last year or so at the Ability Center. But also people need wider hallways so that they can move around. They need a first floor bedroom, a full bathroom on the first floor, often one that's larger, has grab bars, has a roll-in shower, a kitchen that has countertops that are lowered to the correct height. All those different features really make it easier and safer for a person with a disability to live in housing. So there's really a shortage of that in all communities across the country. I know the City of Toledo really wants to move forward with ensuring that we're able to create more accessible housing here in Toledo. So we want to hear from folks about what their needs are and how we might be able to do that.
Yeah, we have a lot of older homes in the area. A lot of them are 2 stories, as you mentioned. So maybe ramps can be built in some cases, but maybe as we're building new places, we can keep all of those things in mind. So how can people get involved in Thursday's focus group? Do they need to RSVP? Where is it? What time is it all happening?
Yep, sure. It's Thursday at 4:30 at the main library. We would appreciate if they did register for that, just so we have a better count. And also, if just in case they have some type of accommodation, so we'll know ahead of time so we can do that. But no, you don't have to register.
Okay.
Come on. We're listening. We want you to be there. If you have something to say, please come, because this is that opportunity here to have your voice heard. And how often is that?
Right.
You know, particularly in this segment right here. So please come.
What will you do with this information that you gather from the meeting?
So what we're looking from the city perspective is, as we start having new development, you know, talking to those developers, hey, we're seeing that there's this greater need. We want X percentage of them to have accessibility, or maybe it's a situation where all of them are accessible. But we don't know, and it's hard to make that argument to put that type of investment into it without having some numbers behind it. So that's what we're really looking for.
Yeah, so they need to hear from you so that they can get this down on paper, have this information to provide to those developers. As we know, housing in general, there is a need there for for affordable housing specifically too. So
Absolutely.
be part of this conversation. Again, tomorrow, 4:30, is that what I saw? 4:30 to 6?
Thursday?
Thursday, 4:36 on Thursday. Sorry, I don't know what. And then there's the QR code if you want to just scan that so that you can RSVP to that ahead of time if you'd like, but it's at Main Library. Ladies, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
us.
being here.